Alright guys, welcome back to AWM FX. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, no matter where you are. Hopefully you guys out there are doing great, earning a lot of money from the market, and of course, getting your health taking great care of your health. Alright, so I still having problem with my mic, but hopefully you're able to hear me well my explanation. I want to share a setup. Alright, this setup actually I share with my mentor groups a few weeks ago. I wanted to share it with you guys because it is a very beautiful setup. Right. So first of all, what we are looking at is the Euro GBP. Okay. So eventually, actually, what happens that day was that I was going through some of the example, and I saw this movement. This is a very nice movement. We can see that the whole price right here, it came down very fast, right? Then what happened next is that the price start crawling very slowly to the top, right? Very slowly. So actually the first movement that caught my eye is not this one. It's the movement down there, which is actually a QML, right? If I switch it to low time frame, you can see it very clearly. It's a QML pattern. So it's actually this movement that caught my eye, all right? But eventually when I look at it in a bigger time frame, all right, I see that the whole movement, all right, some of people call it the can kind of movement, all right, but for me it's just a QML, all right, and a compression. So I'm looking forward to an area where it will drop very soon, but however there is nothing much information I can see right there. All right, there's no information. So what I did is eventually I went to a time frame smaller, right? So by going to a time frame smaller, it gives me a lot of information right there. All right, a lot of information. So I'm going to share it with you. So there is another setup, right? This setup is what I call it as a QMTR, or some people will know it as a Quasimodo respect, or maybe I translate into English is Quasimodo non-respected. Right, means that this Quasimodo QM level has been violated, and the price does not respect it. It has been ignored. Right. So how does it look like? I just give you a brief introduction. So in exactly as a pattern below. So what we have is a QM level going down as a bearish, and then there's a break of structure. Right. Eventually, what we usually expect is that the price reach this area, QML level, and then reject. All right. This is a typical QM level. But however, what the price did here is that when it drops, it makes a base. All right. It makes a base ignoring the QML level. So this pattern right there can be a lot of things. It can be a king, doji king. Of course, if it's a supply and demand by itself, that's the most excellent example right there. Right. So you can see that the whole example. Okay. The price came down. All right. Then eventually broke to the top, right, creating a QML level right there, breaking structure, and QML level right there, right? QML. So I'll put QML. So what happened next is that the price I won't say is supposed to reject all the way up, but it did. Instead, when it drops, it create a drop base drop. All right, you can see that it create a drop base drop, and there is a zone, a very beautiful zone. So when I plot my line across, let me plot. This is my line. When I plot my line across, so I'm gonna delete the QML because it's no longer valid. What I can see is that you can see actually there is a lot of rejection from the top, from the bottom, from the top, and from the top again and again, right? So eventually when the price break, it creates a zone, a very beautiful zone, a very small zone at a 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes. So let me go extend to the right. All right, so this is my entry zone. This is a very obvious entry zone. Why not here? Why not here? Why not here? There is always a reason. We don't trade zone blindly, right? You must have a very valid reason for trading, right? It's not that you see any zone you can trade, because if you go into even smaller time frame, 5 minutes, that's even more zone out there. All right, so you must have a very valid reason to trade, right? So this is my very fine reason, and the stop loss is only 7 pips, really 7 pips only, right? So looking at it now, I go back to H1. Now the important question right there is always people ask me, if this is a compression, so where should you be taking your profit? Very simple. How you enter a trade is how you exit a trade, right? I'm not delusionizing or something like that, correct? Imagine things or dream a lot, okay? Sorry, I forget what's the word. Important is that you know where is the limit, all right? So how you enter a trade is how you exit a trade. Same thing. So I enter, if I able to enter a trade over there, my first take profit should be at right there, right? This should be my first take profit zone, right? It doesn't matter how good I am, this is definitely my first take profit zone. Why I'm saying that is because there is a QML, there is a possible the price might goes back up one more time, or there's a possibility there is a risk over there. I'm not, of course I know what happens, the price drop a lot, but I shouldn't be dreaming that the price will drop until tomorrow never comes. No, I can see a QML, so that is my risk, right? Of course, previously, if this QML is how should I say, this zone is fresh, then I might place it over here. But no, now there is no longer there, and of course the rest is nonsense zone. So this is another powerful zone, right? So I know this is my take profit. If I happens to enter the trade, am I happy? I should be very happy because my risk reward is very obvious. It's very, very high, right? It's very, very high. So I shouldn't be dreaming a lot. So what happened next is that, let me, okay. So the price continue, all right. So once the price reacted to the zone, you can see that the price reacted to this zone, right? So it gives me another good, how should I say, opportunity. So my next take profit zone should be even lower, right? Even lower at the, how should I say, extreme low, right? At the extreme low, right? So it gives me even better risk reward ratio, right? So I will always place my take profit somewhere around there, all right? The zone or the extreme low, right? Then I might cut half of my profit and then let the rest run, right? That is the best way of trading, right? We do not really know where the price might go. So eventually the price came into the zone, right? And then tap onto it. And then what happened is that it continued to drop all the way, all right? Hitting the take profit and then of course continue going down. I will never cry over spill milk, all right? I have enough, all right? For me, 1 to 20 is more than enough. So this is how you should be trading your supply and demand, QML, and whatever it is, all right? You must know the pattern, the overall pattern, the market structure pattern, right? And then suspect something is interesting, and then you go into small time frame, and then you do analyze on that particular movement, see whether you have what kind of similar pattern or what kind of pattern that is you know well, right? What that works, right? So eventually this is how I usually trade my QML, MPL, supply and demand, or SSR, right? Whatever it is, right? So that's all for today. Hopefully this video helps you guys out on trading QMTR, right? The Quasimodo level that fails. And of course, if you like the video, please do give me a like, give me a support. I appreciate it. It's free. Just click on it. And of course, it's better still if you're able to subscribe to the channel, where I know more and more people like to watch the video that I'll do. And definitely, I will do more video explaining a lot of different kind of setup so that you guys can learn and earn from it. It's totally free. It's on YouTube. All right, so that's all for today. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.